So pause the graphic before the timer. Okay, so I'm reading which one, sorry.
I'm doing Eastern.
Okay. Okay, I'll read New Pal. Is that the green down here as well? Hello and welcome to Let's Talk Sports on this beautiful Friday. My name is Mr. Hudson. Joining me today is Alex and Brady. Happy Friday to you guys.
Happy Friday.
How has the first week been back? I guess I should ask you that because we were off for 2 weeks and I got into a rhythm of like staying up real late and then I had to wake up early and get back to school.
Yeah, for baseball we had to wake up early Monday, Wednesday. Supposed to wake up early today, but didn't want to do that.
So
It was yoga, so.
Yoga?
Yeah.
Okay. Now who does the yoga? That's interesting.
Just the whole baseball team.
Oh, okay. That's very cool. So
We have some instructor come in or something.
a little breakfast club action. And then how about you? You have a good break there?
Yeah,
Alex?
I did. I'm still trying to get out of the sleeping or staying up late.
That's
habit.
the best Christmas present you got?
Probably college funds. That was probably the best.
Oh, yeah. That is a good one.
Yeah.
That's a very good one. All right. Well, we got a great show lined up for you today. We're going to be going through some county, and then we're going to be jumping into tonight's matchup. Huge game. IU hoping to make it to the national championship, and it's also wild card weekend, so it is a great football weekend. So we're really excited. We're going to start it off with New Pal. So New Pal had a boys wrestling meet yesterday against Franklin, and they won 41-29. Their girls varsity basketball team lost to Bloomington North 47-60. Boys basketball has a conference matchup against Delta. That's going to be tonight at 7:30. Other events here, we have wrestling varsity and JV, and that's going to be at Franklin Central High School. I think that was yesterday, though, so let's get caught up here. As far as tonight, the freshman boys, like we mentioned before, are at Delta, along with JV. So it looks like everyone's making that trip up to Delta tonight for basketball. Now we're going to move on to Mount Vernon.
Men's basketball has a big matchup today against GC today at 7:30, and boys wrestling competes in the Jennings County Super Duel tomorrow.
What's the Super Duel?
Yeah, what is a Super Duel?
I don't. I
That's
guess
a really
it's like,
cool name, though. I will say
I
that.
imagine it's like a matchup between the two schools.
Yeah,
but
just like maybe Maybe
Jennings
there's a
County.
prize or
Just throw super
yeah.
in there just
I guess there's a
because.
prize or something. Maybe that's what it
Yeah.
sounds like.
Really?
All right, Brady, what do you got for
Well,
us?
for Eastern Hancock, Eastern clobbered Daleville on Wednesday, 81-32 for basketball. Boys varsity basketball plays at home against Wapahani at 7:30 tonight. Girls varsity basketball beat Blue River Valley 54-24 yesterday, improving to 11-5, and they travel to Union County on Saturday to play the Patriots at 7:30.
Okay, and I think bringing it home is Greenfield Central. So what do we have on our own home slate there?
Obviously, like I said before, basketball has a big matchup against Mount Vernon at home tonight at 7:30. Boys swimming and diving has a county meet on Saturday against New Powell Mount Vernon, and girls varsity basketball will play Heron High School at home on Saturday at 1:30. And I guess we'd like to mention that Braylon Mullins had an awesome game. Was it 2 days ago?
Yeah,
Against Providence with 24 points. And
huge game.
yeah.
So we'll get to Braylon Mullen. Let's talk about our basketball team first. So right now we are currently sitting at 5-4 for men's basketball. We're on a 3-game win streak. They had a pretty good break. You know, they played a lot better over break. How do you guys think this Mount Vernon game is going to go? Obviously, you have Luke Ertl, right, and he's a D1 player, a little inconsistent
Where's he
at
going?
times. I
Purdue.
don't know. Is he going to
Going to
Purdue?
I'm pretty sure he committed, yeah.
Wow, that's incredible. So what do you guys think we have to do to win this basketball game?
I
tonight?
don't think there's a chance.
Really?
What are they? Holtzclaw said 8th in the state. We looked at Max Preps. It says 4th in the state.
Hold on,
For Mount
I'm
Vernon.
checking. I hate looking up Mount Vernon stats, but I will.
But
They are 10-2 in 5th. They're 3-0 in conference, and yeah, so they're ranked 5th now. Apparently, they got bumped up since
Yeah,
last.
so
time.
they are 5th in the state, and whatever GC is, I doubt top 25.
Yeah.
No.
Well, at 5-4, probably not ranked.
Yeah.
Yeah, would be my guess.
Yeah, I think Mount Vernon. I mean, they beat us last year in the it was at the sectional
double
championship.
double overtime game in
Yeah.
Muncie. That
and that's when we had Braylon Mullins.
And that was hard to watch. I was
And
there.
Mikey
Actually,
Johnson.
Holtzclaw and I broadcast that game. That was an
Yeah, I was there.
insane game.
That
That was a
was.
heartbreaking loss.
Ertl went off.
He did. So it looks like this year he's averaging roughly 25 points a game. But he's averaging, which is surprising to me, 11 rebounds a game.
As a point guard.
Yeah.
That's
So he's
crazy.
getting a lot of rebounds. You would expect the points to maybe increase as the season goes on.
Yeah.
And he gets more comfortable, but it's the rebounding to me that's kind of the most astonishing for a point guard. But he's very quick and very elusive, so you just never really know. You know, it is at home. Hopefully that we have a good student show, and maybe we double team them, triple team them. That's what I would do. Put 5 people on them, leave everybody else open. But we'll see how that goes. So as a side note, that will be broadcast tonight on the 89.7 WRGF. So I believe that is Jaden Wiles and Dakota on the call tonight. So they always do a great job, so check them out. So back to your point, Braylon Mullins, outstanding game against Providence. His draft stock is improving very
He's
quickly.
projected lottery, isn't he?
He could be projected top 10 if he keeps playing. Have you guys gotten to watch any of the games?
I have not. I've
Yeah,
only
me
seen
neither.
clips. Like that Providence game, I only saw clips of it.
Yeah.
What do you think he's doing so well? I mean, I've been able
Probably
to
just
see-
shooting, I'd say.
It's got to be more than that, though.
And
Wouldn't you
maybe-
think?
Well, he was 6
Maybe
from
move-
10
movement
at
around the
3
ball.
in that game.
Yeah, 6 for 10 is solid. Honestly, a lot of the people say his defense has been surprising. So he's shown to be a better defender than people maybe thought, and I think that's helped a lot. And I also think that there's a lot of players like him in the NBA having success, and that always helps your draft stock because it's an easy comparison. Like a lot of people compare him to the who's that kid on Charlotte? I can't pronounce his name.
Knapp?
No, not.
Con
I mean, to
Knuppel?
me, it does remind him
Con
of Connect,
Knuppel.
but Knippel, who's a rookie who's having a good season,
Yeah.
so that helps as well. But to say I thought he'd be sitting in this position as a freshman is,
Yeah.
I'm pretty surprised.
Yeah.
I'm pretty surprised. So we'll see how they do in the tournament, and we'll go from there. So I believe now we're moving on to Oh, I've got to give my playoff predictions. I know I haven't written those down yet, but this is wild card weekend in the NFL. A lot can happen on wild card weekend. We know that can be quite surprising. There are two teams that have the bye that do not have to play. That is the Seahawks and the Broncos. I'm going to go upset alert here, and Brady won't like this because he's a diehard Patriots fan, and he also just got 2 Drake May jerseys. We were told apparently.
Yes.
Which, how did that happen again? Tell us that story of how you had 2
Oh,
jerseys.
so my dad got me the the Nike rivalry jersey for Christmas, and then
That's a nice one.
my aunt ended up getting me a different style jersey because she
Okay.
didn't know I got another one. So
Okay. Well, looks like he'll be a good player for a while, so you won't have to get rid of him. But I'm going to say, yes, I actually do like the kid. I'm rooting for him. But I'm going to say that the Chargers beat the Patriots. You don't think so?
what's your score? What's the score?
What's my score?
Yeah.
I'm going to say like 27-24. I think it's going to
Really?
be a close game. Thoughts on that?
That's terrible.
Why?
They don't have no line.
Tell me why I'm wrong.
We just got Milton Williams back, and they don't have no line. The run game's out. They can't run the ball, and passing is going to be extremely hard for Herbert with that O-line.
But you have Justin Herbert. You have a dude that has a cannon, and you have
Yeah.
Harbaugh who can
They
scheme.
don't have an O-line, and if they don't have an O-line, the pass rush is going to be getting there, and we have good defense too.
I think
we got Gonzo, we got Carlton Davis, we got Marcus Jones.
you guys have a good defense. I think Harbaugh is going to put running backs back there and chip them. I think they're going to find a way to let Justin Herbert throw the ball. The only reason why I'm picking this, and we talked about this in our pre-show meeting, is because the weather looks really good for New England in January. With it being 50 degrees, I think that they have a shot. If they were going into New England and it was like 15 degrees and it was snowing, I would say absolutely there's no way. But I feel like there's a level of comfort in warmer weather for a warm weather team. That combined with the Patriots, I don't think having a very tough schedule this year, I think that could be kind of telling. But if I'm wrong, when we come back, you can tell me I'm wrong. Nathan, what do you think? Or Alex, what do you think?
I also think that the Patriots are going to win.
What?
Their O-line not being there and injured is just too big of a factor for me. I don't see how the Patriots would not win.
Fine. All right. Well, we will see on that one. Jaguars and the Bills. This one to me is a tough call. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
This one I think could go either way. The thing that scares me about the Bills is I don't think that they play well on the road. And that's a little bit concerning.
I saw a stat that said they haven't won a road playoff game in 33 years.
Yeah. Jacksonville's going to be warm. They're coming from the cold. Some might think, hey, I would say that's an advantage. You never know. All of a sudden, you're thrusting players in a warm environment. Hydration could be an issue. Cramping could be an issue. The Jacksonville fans, I think, are going to show up. They've been playing well. Trevor Lawrence looks like the guy that they thought he would be at some point. It's going to be tough, but then you have Josh Allen. You have the Bills that do find ways to win games at times. I think I have to go with the Jags just because it's a home game, and I don't believe the Bills can win on the road in a warm environment. Remember, this is going to sound crazy, but you're a Patriots fan. How they used to schedule the Patriots and Dolphins games, there would always be one Dolphins game that they would play, the Patriots would, during the Tom Brady years, and it would be like late in the season in December, and they would always fly down to Miami and they would lose that game. And it made no sense because the Dolphins were even worse than they were. I mean, they're pretty bad now. I guess they were about as bad. But it didn't make sense how a Patriots team that was so good would fly down to Miami and lose that game. But it's just the conditions and the weather. Your body's used to one thing, you put it somewhere else. That could happen to the Bills. So I'm going to say the Jags won that. So right now I'm at Chargers winning, Jags winning. Your guys' thoughts on that?
I mean, I like that. I feel like it could go either way. Like, definitely a 50-50 chance. Jags' defense is really good, and the Bills only have Josh Allen and James Cook. And, I mean, basically just 2 rushing attacks because Josh Allen had the most rushing touchdowns for a quarterback, and I think James Cook had the most rushing touchdowns for a running back, I think.
Yeah.
So with that defense, I think they can stop that offense.
Yeah. Okay. Alex, you?
Yeah, I think that the AFC side of the big game, it definitely runs through this game right here. I think if the Bills win, they're going all the way, and if the Jaguars win, they're going all the way. But I think the Jaguars are going to win because, like Brady said, they have a phenomenal defense, and the Bills really only have two good options.
Yep.
With Keon Coleman not really being anything this year at all, and that's their prospect, and yeah.
Yeah. Okay, and then the last matchup in the wild card, we have to get moving here. Houston and the Steelers. Houston and Pittsburgh. This one's also a tough one. I'm inclined to go with Pittsburgh because Pittsburgh fans are annoying, they're loud, they're going to have those stupid towels, there's going to be a bunch of yellow that you have to deal with. But once again, the weather in Pittsburgh is going to be, it's just going to be a warmer weekend, which I think gives some of these other teams an advantage. I do like Houston's defense, but it's got to travel with them. I don't know. It's unpredictable. This one's really unpredictable. I'm still inclined to go with the home team for this one, just because of Heinz Field is a tough place to win in the playoffs. So I do think that they'll raise their level of play, really having not been there in some time. So I'm going to go with the Steelers. Let's move on to the NFC. We'll pick one or two more games to discuss. I'll go through my predictions though. Bears and Packers. Hot take here, but I'm going to go with the Packers. I think the Bears might choke it away. I do. I think that even though that they're at home, I think it's a lot of pressure. It is so much pressure. If the roles were reversed, quite honestly, I think I would pick the Bears because I think they would come out with a lot less pressure. I think they'd play more free. I think they'd be looser. But I think because they're going to be at home, as crazy as it sounds, I think they could choke and lose this game. And on paper, I think that they're better than the Packers. What do you guys think?
I don't know what to think there.
What do you mean? You got to have an opinion.
Well,
What do you
so the Bears won their last matchup against the Packers, right?
They did. Mm-hmm.
So I guess the Packers do have the chip on their shoulder. But I think with the Bears not necessarily being so good over the past couple of years, I think their fans are going to come out and it's going to impact the Packers.
I think that's a good point. So you think the crowd could play a big?
Yeah, for
Okay.
sure.
Whereas I think all that pressure is going to be not good for them. You think it actually could help them? Okay.
Yes.
Alex, what do you think?
Yeah, I saw a stat today. The Bears are looking for their first divisional game since 2011, and the Packers are looking for revenge. They're playing away, and I think that's gonna push them over the edge and get the win over the Bears.
Yeah, the Packers in the playoffs within the past few years have played pretty good on the road. You know, they took out last year. Was it last year or the year before when they beat the Cowboys? I can't remember. But that was like a shocking game because they were such a young team.
And it was a blowout too.
Yeah, it wasn't even close. So, you know, this game could either be a tie game or it could be a blowout either way. It's probably the most unpredictable game in this entire draw this week for wild card. A couple more here, and we'll be all wrapped up for my portion. We got the Niners and the Eagles. Once again, this is a tough matchup as well. I'm inclined to go Philly. Just because it's at home. I think if it was in San Francisco, I'd pick the Niners. So basically the exact opposite of what I said with Bears, Packers. But I think because they're going to be at home, I do think Philly fans will show up. I think that the Eagles will try to make a concerted effort to run the ball, control the clock, and try to slow down the 49ers offense. McCaffrey's kind of a wild card. I think if he plays great, the Niners will win this game. But sometimes in the playoffs, you can bottle him up. So that's also a possibility. But I'm going to say that the Eagles win this, and I'm going to say that I'll say like 24-21. I foresee this game being close. Thoughts on that for you guys?
I don't think the Niners are still injured. They've been injured like all year.
Yeah,
but they've still been able to show up and obviously make the playoffs. I think it's the coaching that helps.
Yeah.
Like Kyle Shanahan's a great coach.
Good coach.
I don't know who
Not a great coach.
I don't know who their coordinators are, but
Me neither.
I mean, in order to make the playoffs with those amount of injuries, I think they can still probably get it done. I saw Fred Warner might be able to come back next week.
Yeah.
So if they make it past the Eagles, then they could honestly go far.
Yep. Alex, sorry.
Yeah, I agree with both you guys. 49ers are definitely injured. And Jalen Hurts is a playoff demon.
Yeah.
So I think they're gonna make a run this year.
He can get hot
For
out
sure.
of nowhere. It is the strangest thing ever.
Yeah.
It is. It's unbelievable what he can do. It's unbelievable at sometimes how bad he can look. Now this last game is on paper. If the events of the past had not happened and the Panthers had not beaten the Rams, I would say that this game probably shouldn't even be televised because it's going to be that bad of a game.
Yeah.
It's going to be that uncompetitive. Because of what has happened, though, this is a very interesting matchup. The Rams have a history. If it was any other team, I would say the Rams win easily. The Rams have a history of playing down to their opponents. They have a history of playing a team that's not as good and they struggle, and it makes zero sense because they're better than that. With the Panthers being at home especially, I don't think it's impossible that the Panthers win this game. It's crazy to think that with Matt Stafford and how well he's played this season and everything else, that the Panthers can somehow win this, but I think that they can. Now that being said, I'm going to pick the Rams. I say all that to say I'm going to pick the Rams, and I say that they win by 10, so I'm going to say 30-20 on that, just because it is hard to beat the same team twice. And the Panthers, that could have been a fluke, but you never know. And I feel like the Panthers don't deserve to be there. I hate saying it, but it's true. Like, the Bucs didn't either. It's just a bad division. But sometimes those are the teams that get hot. So that wraps up my predictions. We're getting ready to head on to break here. When we do get back, though, we're going to have Carson up here. Then you guys will give your predictions as we kind of wrap up the show. So stay tuned for that in the back half. Coming up right now, though, we do have a nice interview with Coach Key. So we're going to want to get ready and run that. This is Coach Key sort of talking about the upcoming season with our very own Bryce doing the interview. So let's go ahead and roll that. And then when we come back, it'll be Carson and the boys to bring us home.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for watching. I am Bryce Cotterman. I'm here with Coach Key. Today we're going to be getting to know him. So, of course, you're a coach. Every coach has their expectations. So, what are your expectations for the season?
I've been really excited about this season for a while. We graduated 7 seniors last year. Those seniors were outstanding. I think they went the last 3 years. I think they had 14 wins, 17 wins, and 16 wins. We had a core group that was able to compete and score. But I've always said I've been looking forward to this year I have now. I've got a bunch of kids that aren't the biggest, the tallest, or the fastest, strongest, but they play really hard. They put a lot of work in the off season. So in terms of expectations, I'm not sure how many wins that's going to get for us, but I do believe, and it's shown so far after 4 or so games, that they'll compete and they play hard and they want to get better. And that's kind of the fun part of coaching. We're getting better every day. So I had a game last night and I felt like we did some things that we really struggled with the first couple games. So just try to keep getting better each day.
Yeah, of course. So the offseason is an important time for preparation. What do you guys do in the offseason to prepare for an upcoming season?
Oh, gosh. It differs with each team. This team, I try to get as many shots up for them as possible. I think Brooklyn Sudi hit over 1,400 threes in the offseason, which is a remarkable number. I think she came to 93% of our offerings in terms of breakfast club, open gyms. In summer we have, I think we play 16 games this summer. So normally the spring we do a ton of dribbling and or shooting. The summer's kind of a team time. You give 3.5, 4 weeks of playing together. We're in a league and a shootout, and in the fall, towards the end of fall break, we start doing actual basketball team stuff. But this group, we've gotten a lot of shots up. Hope to see that pay off. A couple shots went down last night. Again, Brooklyn Sudi, I think, hit 2 or 3 threes last night. It's good to see all the hard work that she's put in pay off. But it differs from each team. This group, I would try to get a lot of shots up for them.
Yeah, it makes sense. So you mentioned that you lost a couple seniors. So how are you guys going to adjust without those seniors in your lineup?
I think the hard part for us is adjusting. Cheney Brown was an outstanding basketball player. I think she had 1,300 points. Madison Sini had something close to that. They were big, they were strong, and they had competed at varsity level for 4 years. So trying to replace them is really, really hard, if not impossible. we got a bunch of guards now that can go out and play. I think one of the principals made a joke that we had the all 5-5 lineup out there the other night, and we did. So there's no real replacing them necessarily. It's just trying to find a way to play small ball and try to be quick and try to outwork everyone.
Yeah. So you mentioned since like the seniors had 4 years of varsity experience. Experience is, of course, very important. So what are some returning players that you are hoping to expect good things from?
We've really only got Izzy Silcox and Ainsley Robinson are our two experienced returners. Julianne Jones will be coming back here soon. She tore her ACL in January against Anderson. She was a junior last year. She's getting better and better and better. And I hate to see her go down because really she didn't get an off season, so we didn't get her in the spring or the summer. We got her a little bit late fall. She's now starting to practice with us a little bit more. But that's it. We only have 3 girls that have varsity experience with us. Everyone else is kind of brand new. And it's made it fun because, now they understand the importance of practicing hard. And, when I'm getting on them about certain things, now on game night, they now understand why. So we're, kind of joked with them. We get to write our own story. Last year's team, everyone kind of knew what we could do and what we couldn't do. This group gets to kind of decide what we can and can't do. We get to decide it. So that's been kind of the fun part with them.
Yeah. So coming off of that, kind of like the opposite of this, who are some underclassmen that you think are going to perform well this season?
Oh, I hope. I mentioned Brooklyn Studi earlier. She's done a really good job for us. Abby Malay's put a lot of work in the offseason. She's got some size. I think she's a very good athlete. She loves basketball. The other day before one of our games, she gave me an entire scouting report that she's done herself for a coach. That's music to your ears. Mackenzie Lisenby moved in from Warren Central. I think the transition from going one school to another has been kind of tough for her, but I think she's starting to find her way with us, which is kind of fun to see. Addie Hecox is another one who played 2 years of JV for Coach Dawson. She's with us now. She's probably one of our hardest workers. She's a competitor. Aubrey Bush is another one that's been with us. I went down to had to coach 8th grade 2 years ago for a couple games, and I noticed that this kid is the hardest working kid around. Last year, she's a JV player. She got better and better. Now, I love having her on the floor because she can compete, but some of our skills aren't quite where we need them to be for some of those kids because they're young, but they're trying to get better every day, and that's kind of what we want.
So, of course, skill development is very important in, any sport. So what skills do you look particularly to develop?
I think dribbling is a big key for us. I think I was saying, Aubrey Bush and Addie Hecox have come a long way, and they work really hard. But in a varsity game, their dribbling's got to get a hair better, and it just takes a lot of work, a lot of practice, a lot of skill. Lexi Kirchhoff, someone I didn't mention earlier with the underclassmen, she has a lot of skill, but there's still a lot of things we can learn going forward. So I think the biggest thing for us is dribbling and shooting. I know that sounds funny because that is basketball, but we got a lot of shots up this off season, and we got to keep on working on our dribbling because in tight games you got to have all kids be able to dribble.
Yeah. So obviously athletes are student athletes, so they have responsibilities off the court. So what do you expect from your athletes outside of the court?
That's one thing I've been really lucky at my old school and here. I typically just get like super high achieving kids. When they're always involved in a ton of things. Most of our group is in SNL or SLA. They're always getting extra hours for volunteering. And then if you look at our grades, every year it's above a 3.5 GPA. And I would love to take credit for that, but that's just the type of kid that we keep getting for whatever reason. So, Izzy Silcox, Ainsley Robinson, like Julianne Jones, these are really smart kids that are driven, and we are lucky to have them because they're involved outside. They're great students and great kids to be around the court. So, we've been lucky since I've been here.
Yeah, that's great. So coming off of that, if there were to be a student or athlete struggling with grades, how would you help them out, or how would you hold them accountable of those grades?
Yeah, we have high expectations. School always comes first. I truly don't think I think it's my 17th year as a coach, we've really rarely ever ran into a grade problem at the varsity level. There's been some kids JV-wise that have struggled to transition from high school or junior high to high school, and typically we make sure they're getting their extra help. We've had teachers on staff right now. We have 2 teachers, me and Mr. Howe, so we're in the building and we can make sure we're checking grades weekly and make sure the kids are not falling behind. So it's honestly not really a problem that we have very often, but we do. We make sure we're contacting the right teachers and make sure the kids are getting the right help.
Yeah. So a little bit off the court still, maybe on your own, what do you want students and athletes to do outside of practice that is still related to the game but to work on those skills?
One thing I love this fall, and we didn't have the turnout that I would have liked to have had, and for several different reasons, but like Breakfast Club, Coach Meredith does an amazing job of, encouraging and motivating and getting those kids to do hard things. It's not necessarily about being in the best shape, although it gets you in shape. It's the mental toughness that I think the Breakfast Club brings. I would like to see more of our kids kind of show up to that. With that being said, a lot of them had soccer, and then they're already in the lifting class. So going from Breakfast Club to lifting to a soccer game would be tough in a day. But I still would like to see that because I think it develops mental toughness, not just physical toughness.
Yeah. So every coach has their values. So what do you value in your program?
I think it's hard work. I think it's the thing that translates the best into life. Show up, work hard, don't give excuses. And I have high expectations for our kids to do just that because I want them to go out into life and understand that life is hard. It's not easy. You got to work for anything that you want. And I think that we're lucky that we get to use sports to kind of teach that to kids and go off into life and realize that they can do hard things. Just got to put in work.
Yeah. So, coming off of that, every coach has their kind of coaching style. What would you say your coaching style is?
That's a good question. I think that also depends on your team. This year, admittedly, I'm getting after them. I'm holding them to a high standard. We are pressing the entire game right now. And if we have a trap and we don't cover up, you're going to know, and your mom's going to know, and your grandma's going to know, because I expect that to happen, and I want them to want that expectation. With that being said, last night we had a close game. I think we were down 10 in the second quarter. Mid-third quarter, we've got 2 or 3 steals in a row, and Ainsley Robinson, who historically has not been strong with her left hand, hit a left-hand layup off of a steal, and just the smile on her face, the smile on her teammate's face, that makes it worth it. And the smile on my face of I'm proud of her. But she's worked for that. It wasn't given to her. So I am hard on the kids. I've never professed not to be hard on them, but I want them to be challenged. I want them to overcome adversity, and I want them to look back and be proud of themselves. Because if we're not pushing them, I think we're cheating them of achieving something that they can achieve.
Yeah. Sorry.
You're good.
Me. All right, sorry.
You're good.
So every practice has a structure. What would you say an everyday practice looks like?
Oh boy, that would depend on the week, and also depends on the team. I think that for example, this week we are getting a lot of shots up, game action, and a lot of layups. It's because those are things that we're getting right now in games. So you kind of adjust your practice plan to what is your team getting and what does your team need to work on. The first couple games we were missing some layups that we can't miss, and we're missing some threes that normally we would be hitting. So we need to make sure we're practicing at game speed, and we're getting those shots at game speed, because I think for the way in which we're playing, we're going to have to play a little bit faster in practice to make sure it translates into a game. So I just adjust practice plans to that team. This team right now, we need to hit a lot of layups in practice going full speed, and we need to make sure we're hitting shots.
Pause
Yeah.
there.
Oh,
Sorry. Another dead battery. We're getting.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Let's Talk Sports. I'm here again with Brady and Alex, and we're going to be finishing off with some more NFL wildcard predictions. So we'll start off with the Houston Texans and the Steelers game. For me, I have the Texans beating the Steelers 21-13 in that one. I think they both have really good defenses, but I think the Texans are just going to hold the Steelers way better than the Steelers are going to hold the Texans. What do you have to think about that?
I have the Texans winning 23-17. I think the Texans have the defense that could stop the Steelers' mediocre offense. I mean, not much to be said there.
Yeah.
I feel like the Texans just have the better defense, so it's more of a defensive game there. Alex?
Yeah, I also have the Texans winning. I think it's going to be a not very high-scoring game because they both have pretty awesome defenses, but their Pittsburgh offense is quite old, with Aaron Rodgers and DK at the number 1, punching fans and getting suspensions. They deserve to lose, Texans.
All right, sounds like we're all in agreement. Next one, I have the Bills beating the Jaguars 35-21. I think it's Josh Allen's year, hopefully. I think he'll never have a better chance, and I think he knows that, and I think he's going to try and take advantage of the worst 13-4 team in NFL history.
Really? You say that?
I don't think the Jags are very good.
I also have the Bills winning 31-17, but I feel like that it could go either way. It's either going to be a blowout from one of the teams, but I don't think it's going to be like a close game.
Yeah.
Depending on who's doing well.
I'd like to see Keon Coleman do good.
I haven't seen him do good ever.
Yeah,
I'll be
it's
honest
not going
with
to
you.
happen.
It's been a minute.
Alex?
I have the Jags winning 31-17, and yeah, the Jags have a good defense. Bills have bad defense, and Jags win.
All right. Next one, I have the Patriots to beat the Chargers 31-28. I think it could come down to a field goal there at the end, but I think it's going to be a good showing for both teams. I think the only reason the Chargers are really even in it at all is just because Harbaugh.
Oh, yeah.
But other than that, I definitely have the Patriots taking that one. What about you?
Oh, I got the Patriots taking it 27-16. Chargers don't have a chance offensively, in my opinion. Patriots might not have the best defense, but with their passing game being Christian Gonzalez, Carlton Davis, Marcus Jones, and then their running game being Milton Williams and Robert Spillane maybe. Not sure if he's playing or not, but if we have all our guys, I feel like New England will definitely come out on top.
Yep, New England, 27-13. Chargers O-line is very unhealthy right now, and the Patriots offense is pretty hot, Well, not like that, but they're on a good streak right now, and I think that they're going to win pretty convincingly.
Convincing?
Yeah.
I like that.
So this one was kind of more of a toss-up to me, but I had the Eagles beating the 49ers 24-17. I think I'm kind of just going with the reigning Super Bowl champs. I think they're really good. They have so much firepower, more than they've showed really this season. But they have a really good team, really good defense, really good offense, and I don't think the Niners are as good, I guess. So.
I think the Niners come out on top in a shootout, 17-16. I don't think it's going to be a high-scoring game whatsoever. The defense is going to be the deciding factor. A lot of field goals, and it's going to be a boring game in my opinion, because I think with the 49ers having so many injuries still, I still think they have a good enough defense to hold the Eagles, other than the tush-push.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alex?
I have the Eagles winning this game. I think that it could definitely go either way because Christian McCaffrey is kind of a wild card because he's done pretty well.
Wild card?
Pretty well this entire season, but in the playoffs sometimes he's a little iffy. Eagles defense is obviously really good. I have Eagles winning 17-10.
Okay. Yeah, I can kind of see that. The only thing is with all the injuries with the 49ers offense, I think they're going to try and take it a little easier on Brock Purdy since he just got back.
Yeah.
And nobody's seen Brandon Ayuk in a year and a half. So.
Oh, I forgot he existed.
Yeah, I don't even know what's going on with
He's
him.
eating those bacon burgers at Applebee's.
Okay. This one was also pretty hard to decide for me, but I took the Packers over the Bears 28-24. I think the Packers are just a little more like they have a little bit more experience, not with Jordan Love necessarily, but I think just their receiving core is a little bit more experience, and I think their overall team just has more experience, coaching staffs, and I think the Bears, they have a rookie wide receiver, a second-year quarterback. I think it's just going to go to the Packers for this one.
I have the Bears winning 24-21. If the Bears can figure out their defense, they're a threat to make it to the big game. Their offense, I watched that 49ers game when they played the 49ers. Their defense killed them. I don't remember the score of the game, but it was 42 to something. And the Bears did great offensively. It was just the defense that killed them. But if the defense figures it out, I got the Bears winning 24-21.
I have the Packers winning in a very close game, 21-20, and main reason for that is just because the Packers, they want revenge from last game. I don't really see either of them going that far, but I think that the Packers, they have that little edge. So we're gonna beat them,
I know.
Okay.
I know what you're saying.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And for the last one, for the wild card, I have the Rams beating the Panthers 42-10. I don't think the Panthers.
Oh my goodness.
I don't really think the Panthers belong much in the playoffs at all. It's really kind of just a bad division over there.
You're
in
not going
general.
to take into account that the Panthers beat the Rams earlier?
Not really.
42-10.
For
Oh my
I think
goodness.
I think it's going to be a blowout win for the Rams.
Goodness. I mean, I have the Rams winning too, but not by that much. I got the Rams winning 38-23 because
Yeah, it's only 4 points different. It's just 13 points different. For,
you said
for the
you said
Panthers.
42-10.
Yeah, I'm talking the Rams scores. You said 38. I said 42.
Oh yeah, but you also take into account the Panthers score too. So that's what, like a
Yeah.
19-point difference?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Not much to be said. Panthers don't really belong here. Rams should win that.
Yep, I also have a blowout, 42-14, Rams domination. What else can I say?
I just don't think Bryce Young's going to be able to hold it. I mean, yeah, they beat him earlier in the season, but I think the Rams are just going to be able to take more from that than the Panthers are. I don't think there's anything that they're going to be able to do differently, while the Rams are just going to bring more.
And I think Bryce Young's ankle is also really bad right now.
Is it?
I haven't heard anything
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah, I didn't know that. All right, so that wraps up the wild card. Do you guys want to talk about the IU-Oregon game?
Sure.
Okay, so I'm a big IU fan. I'm going to take IU on it. They beat them earlier in the season. Nobody thought they would, and they did. I have IU. I think it's going to be close, and I think it's going to be a relatively high-scoring game. I'll go 34-27. I think it'll come down to one touchdown.
You think it'll come down to one touchdown?
I think it'll like a late drive. I guess it kind of for me it kind of depends on how the third quarter goes. Just kind of whoever has the edge then. But I think I have IU winning it all, and I obviously that way I haven't taken this game. So
Oh, I haven't really thought about the score for this one, but obviously beating a team twice in the same season is really, really hard.
yeah,
Especially a team as good as Oregon. I mean, I'm going to take IU here. I don't know what the score is going to be. I'll just throw one out there. 24-14, I think IU comes out on top.
Wow.
I haven't really watched much college football, but
Wow.
I know IU's good and Oregon's really good too.
Yeah. Obviously, they're both coming off pretty awesome scores. IU winning 38-3 against Alabama, and Oregon winning 23-0 over Texas Tech. So we know they're both. I think that this is really the championship game because Miami, they have a good defense. I didn't think that the last game, whoever won was going to decide like the real winner. I think this is the real game, and I think that IU is going to win 22-19. I think they both have really good defenses, and IU is just a little bit better, and I just see them winning. I don't know.
yeah, and especially just watching the beat down that Indiana gave Alabama.
Yeah.
Even I wasn't expecting it, and it was a lot of fun to watch. It was a really fun game, and I really like how humble Fernando Mendoza is. He just gave the win to the team, like credited it to them, basically credited his Heisman to them too, which typically that doesn't happen. You don't see that a lot.
Yeah.
And I think that's a lot of the qualities you want to see in a guy, especially to win a national championship. So, moving on, me and Brady are going to go ahead and debate the MVP race here. So, to start off, would you like to start?
Oh, my debate is Drake May. Drake May is obviously my favorite player, and I think he has the better stats and chance to win MVP. Not necessarily better stats, but he didn't stat pad like Matt Stafford did.
Okay.
And he obviously has the better team, or not statistically, record-wise. And if you look back at all the other MVPs, most of them are either 1, 2, or 3 in their conference. And Matthew Stafford is what, the 6th seed?
5th.
The 5th?
Yeah.
He's
But he
not
was
top.
12-5. 12-5, 5th.
That's pretty good.
He is in a tough division, though.
Yeah.
But Drake May had a 14-3 record.
But I also think Drake May maybe had the easiest record in the league.
Easiest
Wow.
record?
Or sorry, easiest schedule, not easiest
you,
record.
Wow.
You're doing the Drake the schedule May thing?
I think so. Yeah.
You think so?
I think
Alright.
so. I don't think they played a lot. Like you said, the 1, 2, and 3 thing, but I don't think that really sums it up. I mean, they didn't really beat. Like, who'd they beat?
They beat the Bills. They
Okay.
beat the Bucks before their downfall. The Bucks were pretty good. They were what, 5-2?
Something like that, probably. But they also I know it's week 1, but they did lose to the Raiders, and that's just something that, like, even though it's week 1, that follows with you. I feel like kind of like not so much like, obviously not in the postseason, the Raiders aren't there, but like it just shows like if the Raiders can beat them, the right scheme for any team can. I'm debating Matthew Stafford. My biggest reason is that he's the 3rd quarterback in NFL history with 45 touchdown passes and fewer than 10 interceptions in a season. The other 2 being Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers, who both won the MVP in that season. He's also 37 years old playing like this, and everybody thought he was going to retire at the end of last season. And then he came into this season and put up almost 50 touchdowns.
You say Drake May had a easier schedule. If you look at their common opponents, Drake May has a 6-0 record. Matthew Stafford has a 4-2 record. Drake May has 69% completion percentage. Matthew Stafford has 71. He has better completion percentage. Matthew Stafford does. Drake May had 1,495 passing yards. Matthew Stafford had 1,544, which is more than Drake May. 13 passing touchdowns from Drake May, 14 from Matthew Stafford.
Okay.
Drake May had 3 interceptions in those common opponents. Matthew Stafford has 6. Drake May has 259 rushing yards and a rushing touchdown. Matthew Stafford has -10 rushing yards and 0 rushing touchdowns.
You can't expect rushing yards from a 37-year-old man. His whole game is relying on his pass, and also
It's reliant on his pass. It's most valuable, not who's the best passer. It's who's most valuable to their team and who's most valuable to the league. If you put Matthew Stafford in Drake May's position, switch their teams, Drake May is doing the same stuff Matthew Stafford is.
I think
Matthew Stafford is not doing the same with the weapons Drake May has. Drake May doesn't have any weapons. He's got Stephon Diggs, who just came off an ACL injury. He's lucky he
And
got
an assault
1,000
charge.
yards. And an assault charge?
Yeah.
Maybe. We'll see if that's true.
Maybe.
We'll see if that's true.
And Cardi
No,
B.
he is charged with it. He's just not arrested for it
And
yet.
Cardi B.
And he's a kid with Cardi B.
Yeah.
We don't need to get into that though.
But if you put Drake May with Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams and Sean McVay, Drake May does the same as Matthew Stafford, if not better, because he has more legs.
Okay. I mean, you still have to look at Matthew Stafford's like stats though too. Like he leads the league in passing yards, passing touchdowns, yards per game, and he has the 2nd longest passing touchdown this whole season. I think, and not just he leads the league in passing touchdowns, he's leading it by I think like 12 or 13 touchdowns. He's also, like I said, yards per game, he's leading that by about 40 yards. He leads passing yards, I think, by like 300. It's just, he's ahead of everyone else, I think.
If you look at Drake May, he's got the better record. More total yards. Drake May has more total yards with 4,800. Matthew Stafford only has 4,700. Drake May has more yards per attempt. He's obviously got less touchdowns. They have the same amount of interceptions. Drake May has a better passer rating, a better QBR, a better completion per, I think that's like attempt or something. Or completion percentage over expected. That's what it is. Completion percentage over expected, which is like significantly better than Matthew Stafford.
I gotta be honest, I don't even know what that means.
So it's like completion percentage above like the how
Oh,
they
like more than they
expect-
expect. Okay.
They expect him to complete that pass or not.
Okay.
And that's just a bunch of more stats that really matter. Not many people look at it, but if you think about what the expectations for the Patriots were this season, there was a 0.5% chance they were going to win the AFC East.
There was seemingly a 0% chance that Matt Stafford was even going to be in the league this year.
And
I saw numerous posts about Matt Stafford not retiring at the end of last season. Like, probably.
I don't expect him to retire until like 3 years from now.
I didn't either, but I saw a ton of posts of people saying like, "Hey, Matt Stafford officially is not retiring."
Well, that's like
He's
saying
staying in the
Tom
league.
Brady coming back. Did he win the MVP when he came back?
No.
No? He almost did. He had 5,000 passing yards when he came back. More than Stafford
How did
does
Tom
right
Brady
now.
get into this?
Because you're saying, like, it's something like you put Brady in that conversation with, what was it, 37 years old or something? I don't know what stat
No,
you put out there.
the 3rd quarterback in NFL history with 45 plus passing touchdowns and fewer than 10 interceptions in a season.
I'm pretty sure Tom Brady did that when he came back.
Yeah, and he won an MVP doing that.
You just said he didn't.
No, he did that in 2007.
Oh, he did that in 2007?
Yeah,
Well, he had-
2007
Tom Brady
Tom Brady
had
did that.
5,000 passing yards when he came back in the league. When he came
I
back
didn't
and played
know
for the
that.
Buccaneers.
I did not know that. He also had Mike Evans. Mike Evans is one of the best.
Well,
like,
they Matt
yards
Stafford is
after
Puka
catch.
Nacua.
Yeah, he does. I mean, that's why I'm saying Matt Stafford's the MVP. I think he's doing what Tom Brady's doing, and I think he's just going to get the
Tom
MVP
Brady didn't
for
win
it.
that MVP though.
That's why I'm saying I think he's going to get it. I think he's going to get it, even though Tom Brady didn't. I think Matt Stafford's going to show that Tom Brady should have probably, and Matt Stafford, I think he is going to.
Drake May, the Patriots had lower expectations. They have a significantly worse team than the Rams, and they have a better record. You say that the Patriots have an easy schedule, yes, but if they can prove it in the playoffs, I think Drake May should win MVP.
If they can prove it in the playoffs, then I think it can be a toss-up. But for now, we have to go. So thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.